Welcome back, guys, to Mobile London. Hope you're well and keeping safe. Thank you for the continued support, all the views on our YouTube channel, our podcast, and all the feedback that we have been getting. We have another talk organised today with Oleg, the engineering manager at Bolt. For the guys who don't know Oleg, tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi guys, I'm engineering manager of iOS team in Bolt. Bolt, the ride-hailing company that operates taxi, rental, and food actually delivery. So we are doing apps, mobile apps, and we have a few teams of iOS engineers that working on such a big project.
Cool. And Oleg, yourself, obviously, you mentioned there, obviously the mobile app is what we're going to sort of discuss today. Your mobile experience itself over time has progressed through the ranks, but what got you into mobile initially? So how did that come about?
It was like, I guess already 10 years ago or 9 years. Actually, I read the article about that you can be super rich and earn your $1 million pretty fast if you do mobile apps. It was just iPad just released, so everybody was super happy about it. And I was thinking that I can earn a lot of money, so I started doing mobile apps. I didn't earn so much money, but I still love my job right now.
Yeah, that's always a plus. It's good when you obviously enjoy your role. So were you completely self-taught, or did you go to university? Did you do any courses? How did you sort of pick up your career?
Like I initially started with Stanford courses, just looking it by myself, just reading books, no any external courses because nothing were in such time in Russia actually. So and just studying by myself all the books, trying some sample project. Also, I suggested one simple project at my previous work. And said, okay, let's try, why not actually. But it was like all my initiative to overcome it.
Oh, nice. And through your career, obviously you've worked for quite a few companies now. Obviously, looking at your profile, that I know you've worked in different locations, different countries. Obviously now at Bolt. Obviously started off iOS development as a junior, and you've worked your way up. Is there much that you've had to overcome, obviously transitioning through the sort of ranks, or how did you find all of that?
I worked in few companies, like when I changed companies, every time I had different reason. But in general, like first 3 years, I was in outsourced company. It's like where I doing a lot of different projects, but it's a great opportunity actually to learn different frameworks, technology, because you're working on different areas, for example, from banking to some startups and so on. It gives you like a wide range of tools, but at the same time, when you're working in that period, you don't have any deep knowledge of the tools. You're just jumping from one project to another project, and you're constantly lacking of time, so you're not able to focus on one feature and do it. So actually, after being 3 years in outsource company, I decided to move on to product companies only. So it's like, I would say first one big decision was for me. So I moved to a company who did maps in Russia. It's like big provider in Russia. And it was like first experience of working in a product company where you're focused completely on one product. You do one features, you're always trying to tune it. It was a good experience to work in big team of like, I guess around 10 people. So like how to do connection in team, how to manage that team. I wasn't manager in that team. I was just like regular developer. So I learned how to general structure organized. After few years, actually, company decided to close office in that area where he was living. So I decided to change work. And with that background of knowing how to do a big project, I decided to try out like team lead position in another company. Actually, it was like kind of tough decision for me because I had the offer from one company that, okay, here's a high salary, but you are going to be a regular developer. But it's here we have a low salary right now, but maybe more higher salary in the future. But like you're gonna be team lead at the beginning. So I decided to start with team lead role just to try out how it actually manage the people, build communication with product designers, how to organize everything, and help product to deliver the feature, also have a good quality of code. It was a good experience, like in 1 year. So I tried to manage that team. After it, like I received the opportunity to move to Bangkok for a big international company, and I decided why not? It's like I can earn another experience of working in big international company, not only local ones. So I worked in Agoda. It's like big booking
Yeah.
company for Asia. So, and it was also good experience of working really big company where a lot of people, a lot of teams. For example, we had 30 developers, iOS developers in our team. So, and there are a lot of teams. You have to build the communication between the teams, support those communication. You have to build a feature that will be used by millions of users, and you should really consider all the edge cases. Sometimes it's like maybe some edge case is like super small, and you as a developer think it's not worthwhile at all. But at the big scale of company, you understand that that edge case will cover like thousands of users, so you have to pay attention. So I learned to consider all small details of the app and so on. And after actually being a year in Agoda, Bolt asked to join me. Uh, so I decided, oh, like, I want to be closer to home. So I moved to Tallinn, Estonia, not to Asia. So, and that was a good experience in Bolt. So we built a big team right now. Actually, I was, I guess, second developer in the team.
Were you?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. And we hired a lot of people. We tried to manage and set up the whole process inside the team. And actually, I like to be in position of engineering manager because you can set up the connection between teams, set up the connection between product and designers, between QAs. But when you do that kind of work, eventually you are doing less coding because you don't have a time. And it's actually up to developer, I guess. I want to do more like social things, or you can do more technical things. So it's completely equivalent. So you can do something good in social, or you can be really good programmer and do really great stuff.
So it's great. And like you say there, obviously your career has definitely progressed through, especially a Bolt in the last few years, starting off as, I think it was a senior, wasn't it? Then to the lead, then to
Mm.
engineer. So quite big. How did you find personally the transition from going, let's say, to maybe a hands-on developer, 100%
Mm.
hands, or a manager figure? So are you not as hands-on as you once were, I'm assuming now, or how would you sort of say?
Like when I started transition for like I thought it gonna be something different. So like then I expected I can code at some point. But now I realize when you are want to be engineering manager and leader position, you actually uh, you should understand that main focus of your main daily work not gonna be a code base. So it's gonna be like meetings, a discussion with another team, synchronization all the team, synchronization features, designers, backend guys, some discussion APIs, QA. So when you're going to move to manager position or lead position, you should clearly understand that point. So it's not going to be your like daily that you code and you teach other people how to code. No, you're going to organize the work. So and when you are actually at the early stages of transition, it's really important to understand how to shift the ownership of the feature you're currently owning. For example, you really know how to do great architecture or how your UI tests work or CI works, but when you're moving to a lead position, you should understand that, okay, yes, I know how to do it better, but it's not my responsibility anymore to do everything better. Right now, I have to find the right person to replace me and teach him, support him, give everything that he needs to do the best job, but my job is to find the replacement and find the proper guy for that feature and inside and do for all the areas. So basically, as all managers books say, delegation is the main key. So you have to delegate everything and find the proper person.
Yeah, definitely. And like you say, yeah, it sounds like obviously you're enjoying that role now and sort of fitting in nicely. How long have you been sort of that position for? Is that been around a year now, or how long have you been sort of in that?
I was like 1 year in Russia also, and year here in Thailand in Bolt. Like I like the position, but sometimes you can be tired of meetings. So because like as understand, like when you're managing, your main role is to synchronize all the team. So you have to listen all the body all the day, and then like suggest some ideas to somebody.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I suggest obviously with everything these days, being either remotely, it's a lot of meetings. I bet you spend a lot of time on Zoom and Google Meetups.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think that's there with a lot of companies. With yourself then, Oleg, obviously that's your career. Like we say, you're a bit less hands-on now, but do you still code in your own time? Do you have personal applications, or have you done that in your career? Have you ever toyed with like your own apps?
Yeah, I guess like there are type of developers that they want to do some pet project, even if you're a CEO, like you like to do some pet project, try out something like it's like like startup spirit. So actually, like during all my career path, during all the companies, I try to do something for myself. Something went good, something not really good. Like actually, if you like, I guess 4 years ago we did application as iBooks. So basically, almost the same. With you can buy the book, you can read the book, you can save bookmarks and so on. And as a developer, I expected, wow, it should be amazing product everybody will love. But at the same time, I actually failed in marketing the tool. I failed with the publisher. I failed to negotiate the price of the book and so on. So yes, like in general, I like, but it can be hard actually.
Yeah, I think we spoke about that before, haven't you? And you've obviously got certain techniques and ways that you would probably promote applications if you were doing it differently. What things would you have done different, or what things would you recommend to maybe developers who are looking to promote applications?
Like for any developer who actually think about doing their product, I would actually suggest actually to focus not on technical things initially, but focus on how you will sell the product, how you're going to promote the product and market it, because actually it's like crucial component of it. You can have like crappy product, but you can have a super good marketing and promotion, and you will sell your product and then make your product better. But at the same time, if you have a crappy promotion and like no, maybe not at all any promotion, even if your product is super cool, nobody will know and nobody will buy, install the app, and so on. So for any who are going to do something, I would recommend on focus on marketing, find the channels, how you're going to market your app. Maybe it's like your personal blog, if you have, maybe personal video blog, I don't know, any social media, social networks. Maybe there are some Facebook groups related to your area, like Instagram, Instagram ad. Maybe some bloggers ad. Like actually, I tried the bloggers ad. Like I found few Instagram bloggers. I contacted him and said, okay, I have the product. It's like related to food. Food and I found the food bloggers, asking them to promote my app, and like we negotiate the price. And actually, for me, it was the most successful channel of user acquisition. So
Really?
yes, so you have to try so different channels, because it can vary depending on your actually idea, app, and so on.
Yeah. So I guess it's just really a trial and error then period. It depends on the application and the field that the app is. Okay, fair enough. And yeah, I think that's good. Obviously, a lot of people, especially in these times where they are working from home or maybe not working at the moment, a lot of people are toying with their own personal applications. Definitely upsizing their skills and sort of starting to learn the latest tech. But yeah, no, I think yeah, that's definitely helpful for a lot of guys, like guys and girls who are developing. With yourself, obviously, you're working remotely. You've been going. What do you have any sort of tips for people on remote working? I know a lot of people have their own views, but how are you personally managing that, or do you have plans, or how do you set your sort of days out?
Actually, like in my team, what really helps me right now, it's like we have one-on-ones with all the team members inside. Actually, it was even before that, like remote work. So we had the one-on-ones, but right now you're actually trying to like connect the people closer. Like you can speak not even on regular topics, like work topics. You can even speak about like general life topics, like that, like some new lockdowns in your city. Oh, okay, the new lockdown, and so on. So it's like one of the things that I keeps me with connection with all the team members. Another thing that you have to plan all the even small items. I mean, like when you're in the office, for example, somebody raised some idea, you can quickly come to person, discuss it, plan some actions, and maybe like resolve the problem. But right now, if somebody raises it, you understand that you have to find the person, you have to contact him. Maybe it will take some time to reply you in Slack or Zoom or where. So you have to write down all the things. So one of the tips for me right now, I'm writing down all the small actions that I need to take or resolve it later. And like another tip for me was to find a good calendar app, because default for Mac is useless. It always miss my meetings and so on. I guess it's majority of, maybe one thing that I actually did is I planned a lunch meeting.
Okay.
It's really helpful to have a lunch meeting, because everybody tend to put additional meeting instead of lunch. So it's better to keep it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, and I think that's a good thing. I think everyone's going to do it their own way. It depends on the team, depends on the culture of your team. Like everyone's got their own tips, but yeah, that's good to hear. That obviously your sort of side of things, I'm sure some people will sort of take that on board. I think as well, why I have got you on the phone, I think it'd be good to ask. Obviously, there are a lot of people who are looking for new roles at the moment. People are trying to find the best ways. Obviously, as you mentioned at the start of this call, you're now at the point in your career where you're doing a lot of the interviewing and you're finding those correct placements. How do you sort of, what tips or maybe advice would you give to people coming into interviews? What would be your personal opinion?
In general, as I see it, like all interview has a big two like steps. First one is technical one, so where you have to prove your technical skills. For example, for iOS, you have to prove that you know like some architecture patterns. You have like to know Swift, Objective C, like Swift actually more, Objective C less. So you have to know how to test, debug, and so on. It's like ground basis technical foundation. Another thing is like can be team fit and expectation for like in team culture. So, and it's really, I guess there is no strict rules. So basically, actually, it's both interesting. So actually, I am as the manager actually interested to find the right person in my team. Like we are a startup, like both startups, so we are mostly thinking about startup spirit. So it's not like something crucial, but it's really person dependent. It's not like set in stone. So we just looking for more like be proactive, do some initiatives, like experiment, do some testing, A/B testing, be open to like remove some ideas if it's not succeeded. And it's like actually what current team expect, but at the same time, developers who want to join the company can have their own expectation from a team. Maybe some they want to have a big team, maybe a small team, maybe focused on some product features or do some really wide features to take all the technology in place. So if you pass the technical ground, then it's like a stage of social fit, team fit, and so on. And it's, I would say, actually equal for all the parties. So you have to find the proper team for you, and team seeking for a proper person. So advice actually for whom who want to join some company, like yes, you have to learn also ground techniques like algorithms and so on. But at the later stage, also think about, is it companies that you are looking for? Are you going to be happy in that team? What's the actually expectations of team about you? Does it fit your expectations of the team? And try to match. So, and if it matches, then I guess you will be happy in the team.
Yeah.
So something like this, like keep in mind for who are going to do interview.
Yeah, definitely. And I think especially in a startup environment, like you mentioned, it's not as large a team, is it? So there's all the factors that come into play, and culture is definitely sort of a big thing. But look, Oleg, thank you very much for your time today. Really appreciate you taking the time out to obviously speak with myself and share your own opinions and your own personal journey. Thanks to everyone who's obviously viewed. Obviously, have a great Christmas, everyone. Stay safe, and yeah, I'll see you all at the next event. But thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.